The business plan of a wealthy family, visionary leadership for generational wealth, health, and spiritual strength. Welcome, everyone. Today, I want to share something that has been on my heart for years, something I call the business plan of a wealthy family. Now, when I say wealthy, I don't just mean financially wealthy. I mean families that are rich in vision, in faith, in values, and in systems that endure for generations. This business plan is a roadmap for me, for my family, and I hope for yours as well, to create a 150-year plus legacy where every generation is spiritually grounded, financially educated, physically healthy, and empowered to live abundantly. One of the unexpected blessings of my career as an MC for mitzvah parties is that I've been invited into the private celebrations of some of the wealthiest families. And let me tell you, beyond the music, beyond the lights, and beyond the dancing, there are lessons I've observed that go far deeper than the parties themselves. These families aren't just wealthy in dollars, they are wealthy in mindset, in vision, and in how they live out their values. Over the years, I've noticed that the truly wealthy, the ones who build lasting legacies, share five powerful commonalities. Number one, they prioritize their relationship with God. Everything flows from this foundation. Wealth disconnected from faith often breeds pride and emptiness. But when it's anchored in God, it produces stewardship, humility, and purpose. Number two, they plan for generations in advance. They don't just think about their kids, they think about their grandkids and beyond. They aren't merely leaving behind money, they're planting seeds of wisdom, opportunity, and faith that ripple through generations. Number three, they see money as a tool, not the root of all evil. They understand the truth. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. Money itself is a tool, one of the most powerful tools God has given us to bless others, to expand impact, and to serve his kingdom. Number four, they build systems, traditions, and habits. They don't leave anything to chance. They have rhythms, family dinners, family meetings, annual trips, structured finances, giving traditions, health practices. They create stability and compound success over time. Wealth for them is not an accident, it's a lifestyle. Number five, they write their vision, make it plain, and reverse engineer it. They don't just dream, they document. They set a vision, map out the steps backwards, and then consistently. They act consistently until the dream becomes reality. Financial foundations. For children and young adults, I recommend a checking account for deposits and transfers, a custodian Roth IRA at a brokerage such as Fidelity, opened with earned income as early as possible, because even just a small amount of money over time will compound into a large sum, a high yield savings account for emergency funds, a beginner friendly credit card paid off in full every month to build credit responsibly. Our investment philosophy is simple. Keep it really simple. All right. You don't need any type of fancy strategy until you hit a huge, financial net worth. But as you're growing your financial net worth, keep it very simple. All right. Low cost, diversified index funds that track the S&P 500. And over time, add in real estate for passive income. And once your assets pass over 250,000, then you can start to consider more advanced fancy strategies. But until then, just keep it really simple. All right? And look, never invest in something that you don't understand. Do the research. Don't just blindly trust, a financial advisor to handle your investments, right? Understand what you're investing in. Understand it. And again, keep it simple and understand what type of fees are involved in these investments, right? Because just a small, advisory fee will compound and you'll end up spending a lot of money. You'll end up losing a lot of money over your lifetime. So understand the fees that are involved. But more importantly, always understand what you're investing in, right? For real estate, we'll use LLCs, like my own Humble, Grateful, Prayerful LLC to acquire rental properties. We'll involve family members on a board of advisors so that everyone learns financial literacy by doing. Eventually, this grows into a family office model where we track cash flow, oversee investments, and create opportunities for family members to take on advisory roles, share profits, and gain ownership. The First Paycheck Program. Now, let me tell you about something close to my heart. I don't have children of my own, but I view every child I work with as if they were my own niece or nephew. That's why I created something called the First Paycheck Program. Here's how it works. We hire kids to participate in our dance fitness events or photo shoots or dance videos or even just a picture on a social media post, right? And we pay them. A typical paycheck is $25, or in our virtual conferences, typical paycheck is only $10. Now, the paycheck may seem small, but the true value is what it unlocks. Because with earned income, that child is able to have someone like a parent or any adults. It could be an uncle, it could be an older cousin, any adults, right? Most likely a parent. Open up a custodian Roth IRA for them and begin their financial journey at a young age. And I don't stop there. I work directly with the parent or the older sibling or the older cousin or who I work directly with whoever opens up that custodian Roth IRA for them, right? I work directly with them to guide that child into dividing that first paycheck into four categories. Number one, 10% going to tithing, right? Giving. Number two, 20% goes to saving, right? Like in a high yield savings account, right? Number three, another 20% goes to investing, right? Like Roth IRA stock index fund. And then the remaining 50% goes to personal spending, right? They can spend it in whatever way they want, right? It's called a paycheck routine, right? Where you just systematically, help them develop that habit of dividing up every paycheck in that way. Now, walking a child through these steps while explaining why is one of the most powerful gifts a parent or a mentor or a teacher can give. It shapes money habits that can last a lifetime. But why does this matter so much? Because starting early gives compound interest decades to work its magic. For example, if a child contributes just $200 per year, starting at the age of 5 into, a typical Roth IRA stock index fund that makes over the long term, that averages around 10% annually, right? By the age of 65, they would have over $600,000 in that one account, tax free. Now, for perspective, according to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth for retirees today is around $410,000 for ages 65 to 74, and only $335,000 for ages 75 and older. That means that more than half of retirees are living with less than $500,000, and many rely heavily on Social Security. This strategy flips the script. Imagine a family tradition where every child and every grandchild and every great grandchild and every great great grandchild, every child, right? Imagine a family tradition where every child automatically gets a custodian Roth IRA. And over generations, this builds a legacy of financial security and freedom. And the most inspiring part, we never know how the seeds we plant will grow. That 6-year-old child might one day be a teacher who shapes thousands of lives, a doctor who cures cancer, an entrepreneur who ends poverty, or even a president who brings peace. Together, we can make financial literacy not just a lesson, but a legacy. Programs and initiatives. Beyond the First Paycheck Program, our family business plan includes the Robert E. Smith Scholarship Fund, in which up to 20 scholarships per year are awarded to help students open their first Roth IRA. Our mastermind and educational programs like Keys to Cash Flow, right? A private money lending program through our HGP network where we pool funds together to lend to real estate investors like house flippers. And that way we're earning strong returns, like over 15%, right? While learning risk management and learning real estate, right? Our online community called Keys to Cash Flow on the school platform, where we support each other in finances, in health, in careers, and in relationships. We create accountability. We create encouragement. We create these positive spaces where we're helping each other thrive. Now, health, wellness, and lifestyle systems. Wealth is bigger than money. True abundance includes spiritual wellness through prayer and devotion. Also, physical health with exercise, nutrition, and preventive care. Also, mental clarity with meditation, journaling, and mindfulness. Also, family unity through traditions like annual trips and family dinners and family meetings. Also, giving back through scholarships, mentorship, and community impact. These habits and traditions are the infrastructure that makes wealth and wellness last for generations. Now, governance, risk management, and timeline. We'll organize a family board of advisors with at least 20 members who will meet monthly. We'll create LLCs. We'll create LLCs and teach financial literacy as a hedge against reckless spending. We'll diversify across Roth IRAs, real estate, index funds, and lending. Our timeline is phased out like this. Years 1 to 2, build foundations, launch scholarships, start the family office. Years 3 through 10, acquire rental properties, expand education, scale lending, like private money lending. Years 10 and beyond, institutionalize traditions, scale giving some more, document everything for the future generations. Create the blueprint that gets passed down. Now, this business plan is more than finances. It's a blueprint for intentional living. By combining faith, financial literacy, health, and habits, we can build a multi-generational legacy that goes well beyond 150 years. One where every child and grandchild is empowered to thrive. Because true wealth is not measured by dollars alone, but by the systems we build, the values we live, and the lives we impact across generations. Together, we rise by lifting others. Together, we build a legacy that never dies.